Hurricane season started 3 weeks ago, and we already have 3 named tropical events on the books. It's time for you to start prepping your house for hurricane season, just in case one comes your way. Stay tuned. I'm going to give you 10 things you can be doing now to get your house ready for a hurricane. Hey y'all, it's Christy on the Crystal Coast, and welcome to my channel. If you are interested in learning more about retiring, relocating, or just relaxing on the Crystal Coast, then this is the channel for you. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so you'll be notified when future videos are published. Now today we are going to talk about hurricane season. I know, not a fun topic and a little stressful. I'm hoping the tips that I give you today will be able to make you feel a little less stressed if you do have a hurricane come your way. If you are a new homeowner in the coastal areas on the East Coast, then these are items that you really should be thinking about now and not when a hurricane gets predicted to come your way. So number 1, go out and walk around your yard and look at your trees. Do you have any trees that are overhanging your roof or are really close to your windows? Maybe you have a lot of deadwood in your trees. I would take this opportunity to get your trees trimmed back and get the deadwood out of your trees just in case we have a big wind event that comes through and, those trees fall on your roof. During Florence, one of the #1 causes of water issues in houses was from trees falling on roofs and the water coming in from the top side. You want to make sure you do everything you can to eliminate that possibility. Number 2, clean your gutters. If your gutters are full of leaves and debris, water is going to back up in those and then it's going to come pouring out, and you might end up with a lot of water around the foundation of your house, which can cause a lot of other issues as well. So make sure you get your gutters clean if you haven't already this year. It's just one of those normal yearly maintenance things you should be doing anyway. Number 3, if you have a generator, make sure that it is working. If you have a whole home generator, most likely your generator company has set it up so that it will run on a weekly basis. I know my mom's comes on at 12 noon on Saturday every week to make sure that it is working correctly. If you have gas-powered generators, it might be worth taking the time on a Saturday for about an hour to just put a little gas in them and make sure that they are running correctly as well. And that leads me to the fuel for your generator. If you have a whole home generator that is run on a propane tank, make sure that you actually have an adequate amount of propane in that tank. Most of the time, if you have about 70% or more, you should be fine. The week before a hurricane is not the time to call up your propane company and ask them to come out and fill up your tank. If you have gas-powered generators, make sure you have a container or 2 of gas that is ready to go. Having a couple of tanks full before the event is coming your way prevents you from running into the possibility of gas stations not having gas available. Just one of those be prepared situations. Number 4, check your insurance coverage. I know a lot of properties here on our beach have recently been selling for cash. If you're purchasing a property for cash, you generally don't have to provide homeowners insurance proof when you purchase that home, only if you're getting a mortgage. If you have not gotten homeowners insurance yet, I would highly encourage you to go ahead and get it. I would look at the North Carolina Insurance Underwriters Association page, and I will link that below, to look and see who does provide wind and hail coverage for your area. It is highly regulated in the state of North Carolina, and you want to make sure that you're going with a company that is going to be reliable should you need to contact them if something happens to your home. Number 5, while we're talking about insurance, make sure you have your insurance paperwork in a safe place that you know how to get a hold of it if something happens. In fact, I would highly encourage you to have all of your important paperwork, birth certificates, passports, insurance information, deed to the house, whatever you have that you deem as important paperwork, that you have it somewhere safe and in a plastic container or envelope that would be easy to grab and get a hold of if you need to have that information, like if you're going to need to make a claim for damage to your property. You're going to want to make those claims pretty quickly. As we saw with Florence, which was our last hurricane here where we saw significant amounts of damage, it took underwriters a really long time to get down here and to get to everyone who had a claim. So the faster you can get your claim in, the more quickly you will move along that line of underwriters and get taken care of. Number 6, check out your hurricane shutter and plywood situation. If you have hurricane shutters, do you know how to use them? Are they shutters that are removed, or are they shutters that you just push a button and they roll down over the windows? Also, if you have plywood system, do you know where that plywood is? Do you know where each piece of plywood needs to go when it's time to set it up? I would want to make sure that all of that stuff is easily accessible and you know where each piece needs to go. If you haven't had an opportunity to get plywood or shutters yet, take this time to go ahead and look into that. There are a few companies in Careret County that will install hurricane shutters, and there is a new product out there that is more of a metal fabric that they are using that sounds kind of interesting. I know nothing about it. It just, when I was doing my research, I thought it was very interesting. I'll link to the information that I found if you're interested in looking it up. Number 7. If you have pets, make sure that they have a current ID on them. If you have moved recently, make sure that their microchip information is up to date. It's also a good idea to have a current picture of you with your pet in the event that you need to go looking for them after the storm. And whatever you do, if you need to evacuate, take your animals with you. You love your animals, they are your family, and they should go with you when you evacuate. Number 8. This is something that a lot of people don't know about, and if you live on one of the barrier islands in North Carolina, it is a very important step that you need to take, and now is a great time to do it. You need to have a reentry pass that is given out by the municipality that you live in. These are just a placket that you will have in your car, and it will allow you to come back to the island when they allow property owners back on. If we have a severe hurricane and you do need to evacuate, or perhaps you're a second homeowner and you want to be able to come down and check out your property, you will need to have one of these passes before they will let the general public onto the islands. So make sure you check with your community about what you need to provide to them in order to get a reentry pass. I believe in Emerald Isle that you are allowed 2 reentry passes per property, but that is something that you definitely need to check with each community. Number 9, you should have a go bag put together. Just like if you are expecting a baby and you have that bag waiting to go to the hospital, you should have an evacuation bag ready to go. In that bag, you should include things like that important paperwork we mentioned earlier. You will want your reentry pass in there. You will want to have things like snacks, water, pet food if you have pets. You will also want to have cash on hand, preferably smaller bills, because you might have to buy things at stores when the electricity is out and they will not be able to run credit cards. You should also have a list of things that are important to you that you don't want to leave behind to make sure you grab when you go, like photo albums, jewelry, artwork, anything that is really important to you that should your house get destroyed, you would be devastated to lose. You want to make that list now so that you're not having to think about those things in the midst of the chaos and stress of a hurricane headed your way. Number 10, lastly, we're going to talk about the basics. Make sure you have flashlights that work. Make sure you have fresh batteries. Make sure you have a portable electronics charger for charging up your cell phones if you have a cell phone. Although, at this point, I'm pretty sure most people have a cell phone. Make sure you have some sort of portable radio that you can use in case you lose both electricity and cell phone service and you need to get updates on what is happening with the storm. have a case of water or two, and about 7 days of non-perishable food set aside. These are just the absolute basics that you need if you are planning to ride out a hurricane. Now, I am going to have linked below the Ready.gov website that you can go to that has an extensive list of ways to plan for a hurricane that go way beyond what I have listed in this video. I just want to reiterate, and this is the Girl Scout in me, that it is way better to be prepared for a severe event like this than to be scrambling around at the last minute trying to get everything done before a hurricane comes. Yes, we often get a significant amount of time before the hurricane heads our way, and hurricanes often change direction and they don't end up hitting the coast at all. However, if you are prepared, it can alleviate a significant amount of stress for an already stressful situation. I'll also have my blog linked below in the description that will have all of these items written out for you if you would like to go check that out. I hope this has been helpful for you and you've gotten an idea of a few things that you can do now to get ready for the storm season that usually hits the coast of North Carolina in early fall. Y'all stay safe out there, and I'll see you in the next video.